This is the Farm Monitor. For over 50 years, your source for agribusiness news and features from around the Southeast and across the country, focusing on one of the nation's top industries, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by one of the largest general farm organizations, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now here are your hosts, Ray DeLesio and Kenny Bergamy.
All right, time to have some fun, maybe learn something in the process. This, however, is common knowledge. Talking about those smooth and charismatic vocal tones of the one, the only Kenny Bergamy.
Ah, yes, bringing you the hits and the lineup of another great show. Straight ahead, it's been a fairly mild winter, and that doesn't fare well for peach producers. What effect, if any, has the lack of chill hours had on this year's peach crop? Damon Jones takes a look at that. Also on the program, do you know about embedded codes on farm equipment? And if so, can you bypass it to fix that piece of machinery? No? Well, you're not alone, and it's an issue that legislators are fighting to correct. Plus, what started as a need to eat better, to feel better, has turned into a full-time job for this Walton County pig breeder. But these pigs aren't native to the U.S. Ray with more on Mayshons and how they made their way to Georgia. These stories and so much more right now on the Farm Monitor.
Well, let's face it, for a farmer, it's not really farming unless something needs fixing from time to time. Am I right? Exactly. However, due to the complexity of today's equipment, producers are often left in limbo, waiting for someone that can assist them. John Holcomb spoke to one farmer about this very issue and the legislation that's aimed at, pun intended, fixing the problem.
For farmers like Ben Boyd, working on a tractor or a piece of equipment is not out of the ordinary. In fact, he'll tell you aside from planting, watering, or harvesting, they spend the majority of their time repairing their equipment in some shape or form. It's something he's grown up doing, but in recent years has started to run into some issues when repair work needs to be done to the newer pieces of equipment.
I've grown up with wrenches and toolboxes, and my daddy was a pretty good blacksmith, so we can work on just about anything. But as time has changed, there's a lot more computers and tractors than there used to be. And we've gotten to where we can work on them a little bit, but our problem is, or our fear is, that there are some things that they call embedded code, which I don't know a whole lot about, but I do know there's some things on the tractor that I can't go in and change and fix myself.
What often is the case is that the new equipment will lock down when the computer senses something is wrong and requires a licensed technician to come out to the farm and work on it, which can be costly and time-consuming. And when it's time to plant or harvest, downtime can cost a producer an entire crop.
You got narrow windows of weather coming in, it's kind of like if you finally get everything right and the stars align and you think I can really get something done now, and you get a big problem that tears up. If you can't fix it yourself, you got some big issues, and that's a concern for us, because what happens if nobody's moving around? What happens if a state gets shut down? What happens if a county gets shut down and we're trying to put a crop in or get a crop back out? And we feel like it's kind of a matter of national security. We got to get this thing, we got to get people fed and do it as quickly and efficiently as we can, and we don't really have any room for any mess ups.
Ultimately, what it boils down to is when producers pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for their equipment, if they want to fix something on it themselves or hire a non-dealer technician, they believe they should be able to.
I feel like that's my tractor. I bought it, I paid for it. As long as it's not under warranty and I don't do anything to mess up the warranty, I should be able to do just about what I want to with it, just like anything else on the farm or in our whole life. If you buy something and pay for it, you use it kind of like you want to.
Thankfully, there is currently legislation in the General Assembly that addresses this issue and aims to fix it, known as the Right to Repair Act, or House Bill 1176, and was authored by Representative Perkle, a farmer himself who says he wants the ability to fix his tractor like he can his truck.
Farmers have always been able to fix their equipment. Now with some of the technologies that we have in our tractors, we don't have access to the tools in order to fix the things that we own. I want to have the same ability to fix my tractor as I do my truck. If my tractor tears up, plug something in, check the code, and right now there are certain things that makes it difficult for me to do that. So simplified version of the bill is it's a property rights issue. I think we should have access to other people to work on the things that we own. So I think we could perhaps expand the opportunities. I know one person told me, he said, listen, my tractor tore up. It was 3 weeks before they would come and pick it up. So what I want to do is expand the number of people that have access to the tools to work on my stuff.
This, however, is not just an issue in Georgia. In fact, this is such a widespread issue in agriculture across the U.S., Congress could potentially act to address it as well. Reporting in Sylvania for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.
While most of us here in Georgia hope for a mild winter, that is not the case for peach growers, as a lack of chill hours can severely reduce the quality of their crop. Damon Jones tells you how they had to sweat it out this growing season, as well as change up some of their techniques.
Only one state in the country can boast the moniker of the Peach State, and while it might not be the largest producer in quantity, Georgia more than makes up for it in its quality. But in order to do that year in and year out, the trees must get a certain number of hours under 45 degrees during their dormancy.
They kind of give the tree a chance to reset, and when you have enough chill hours, they should time their bloom with spring. And if they don't, the bloom might not want to be unified throughout the tree, and that leads to other pollination and issues where you have flowers, but there's no peach inside of them.
And this year, each one of the varieties received the proper number of chill hours. However, it didn't come without a little bit of hand-wringing, as a late cold spell during January just barely made up for the warm start to the winter.
So far, we are pruning the trees, and they are coming along on schedule. You're starting to see a few blooms with this warmer weather, but with a cold January, we were able to get enough chill to set the crop. We cut it, our highest chill's around 850 chill hours, and we were right above that. So everything's looking good, but it didn't have a lot of margin for error.
With that La Nina weather pattern, growers were able to anticipate a mild winter and plan accordingly. And while nothing can substitute for cold weather, they are able to make some adjustments to their maintenance.
So with a marginal winter, they say the shorter wood on the tree that has blooms on it takes less chill than some of your newer, longer wood. So we'll prune the tree slightly differently than we would if we had a lot of extra hours.
All that hard work has paid off, as this year's crop is now on schedule. But that doesn't mean the growers aren't on constant lookout for a late freeze.
Now we're trying to get the trees. These trees have already been pruned, but taking it down to where you'll have a correct number of peaches depending on the variety and the land, so that they'll have good size and good quality. And with the temperatures warming up, you kind of anticipate blooms early and a freeze coming in, so we'll leave a few extra limbs on the tree as an insurance policy for frost damage or something else down the line.
Despite all the hard work and worrying, it's a process these growers have come to love, as they dedicate their lives to providing the highest quality fruit to the public.
I've been doing it my whole life, and it's just something that's a little out of the ordinary for some people, but to me it's just business as usual.
Reporting from Peach County, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
Well, this agribusiness owner admits she is just flat out tired. And again, with all she does on a daily basis, along with the key position she holds regarding a rare pig breed, who could blame her? More on Laura Jensen and Jensen Reserve when the Farm Monitor continues.
Tree fruit growers experience many challenges as they work hard to produce food for a growing world. Oftentimes, the pests and diseases plaguing one grower are impacting growers in other areas too. But how do we collect that information? How do we connect growers in one state with growers in another? And how do researchers analyze the data and help find solutions for these problems? USDA's Agricultural Research Service formed partnerships for data innovation in an effort to address challenges just like this.
The problem that drove me to develop this product was the lack of an existing platform to document and record tree fruit pests, disorders, and diseases. Hence, PathMap was born, which stands for Pathogen and Tree Fruit Health Map. It's an integrated system that consists of a cell phone application and interactive dashboard to track tree fruit diseases, disorders, and insect pests.
The tool we've created is an online interactive dashboard. And so this dashboard has a couple of really neat features. So the first is that users can go into the dashboard and filter the observation data that was collected using the survey tool. So data can be filtered by crop, for instance, or a specific disorder. So once data has been filtered, there's a really cool feature in the dashboard that allows users to actually comment and provide diagnosis assistance on observations.
It provides quicker access to time-sensitive data that they need. It will allow them to adjust pathogen and pest control programs based on real-time data. It will afford them access to a pool of nationwide specialists instead of relying on regional experts. And it'll provide access to previous year's observations and allow them to track current diseases, disorders, and pests.
You can learn more about the ways that USDA's Partnerships for Data Innovation is harnessing data and the power of technology to find solutions for a growing world by visiting ars.usda.gov.
Funny how life plays out sometimes, isn't it? 1 minute, you have your mind set on this. Next thing you know, you're doing something completely different, something you never even saw coming. Take Laura Jensen of Walton County, for instance. In 2013, Laura and her family bought a residential farm as a way to board their horses and do some trail riding. But shortly after, Laura and her daughter were diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. Then came the acquisition of some special pigs rarely seen here in the U.S. All of it playing a part in the creation of Jensen Reserve, a business that saw exponential growth during the early days of COVID when others simply failed. Growing up in Greensboro, North Carolina, Laura Jensen created lasting memories on her grandparents' retirement farm, a place that remains near and dear to her heart, and a place Laura credits for instilling the work ethic she puts forth day in and day out.
So I usually start my day in the butcher shop. It gives me an opportunity to work with the charcuterie cuts that I enjoy producing, make sure that our production schedule is on task and that my crew is set for the day. Usually do that until around lunchtime, 12, 1 o'clock, and then from there I switch over to the business side. I am constantly working on my marketing program and how to reach more people, checking on our products and if I can make any improvements there. So I'm on the business side until about 5 o'clock. Then I do take about a 10-minute break, and from there I'm out on the farm until 7 or 8 or until it's done. During the week, my husband and I feed all the pigs. And then, of course, you know, something's always broken on the farm, so we're working on whatever needs to happen to make sure the pigs have the best life they can.
But these pigs aren't your run-of-the-mill farm pigs. Nope, these are Meishan pigs, native to southern China and a rarity here in the U.S. The way in which Laura acquired them? Well, that's a story in and of itself.
So 5 years ago, we started with pigs. I ended up with those dangerous pigs. I know they're not all that way, but we ended up with them, and I had to find an alternative.
Laura's search led her to this man, Rico Silvera, who at the time was president of the American Meishan Breeders Association, a title now held by Laura. Prior to his retirement, both Silvera and Laura worked tirelessly to save what remained of the limited population of Meishans here in the U.S. That hard work paid off.
Yeah, we've grown to about 65 member breeders. We're about to register our 400th pig, starting from 12. So we're at the point now that I think we're going to see exponential growth. Litter sizes on the Meishan can be 19 and 20 piglets per litter. So now that we've got them in most states, there's still a few we need to add them to in the country. I think that this next year, Meishan's going to become a name that you're going to see not only in pork, but in pigs, the live pig side of it. They're incredibly docile, they're a lot of fun to work with, and then their flavor profile is unique as well. When we started, there was only a few people in the country that had tasted Meishan or knew of it, and everybody consistently told me that there's not much meat there, but what is there is absolutely amazing. So what I thought could happen, and did fortunately, is with the new genetics, we were able to actually produce a Meishan that is comparable to what I had found in the large breed hogs. So I'm able to achieve a 300 to 330 pound hanging weight in a 13, 15 month window, which makes them a very viable option.
And having options is something Laura wants every one of her customers to experience when they step inside Jensen Reserve. From prime cuts of beef to poultry, even specialized foods which cater to people like Laura and her daughter, who themselves needed options after both were diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis.
And what that means for us is what we eat dramatically affects our ability to function, because not only does it affect our skin and as far as the psoriasis side of it, but our joints will ache and we'll have major inflammation if we eat poorly. So that was a huge motivating factor for me, because when I would go out to eat or go try to find something to eat, there were hidden ingredients, or it made me feel bad, or something wasn't exactly, what I thought it was. So I essentially took that and created my own products through my store. And fortunately, I think we are on the edge of a new food movement in America. I think there are a lot of us that are tired of what has been happening and what's out there, and we want something clean, new, and fresh, and that's exactly what I do here. So I know that COVID was a very difficult time for a lot of people, and there was a lot of loss, and we lost family and friends as well. But on the business side, it was a game changer for Jensen Reserve and what I do here. Because the grocery stores did not have food, a lot of our neighbors in our community were desperate to find something to eat. And word of mouth traveled fast. So when COVID hit and the stores didn't have anything on their shelf, we ended up growing 800% in a 2-week time. What's happened since then, we did see a slight dip in our sales last summer, kind of when the world went back to normal for that brief period of time. And that's when we found that we could deliver locally through Market Wagon. There's a link on our website for that, and now I can deliver to 19 counties in Georgia, and it's made the difference in keeping us at that level that COVID presented us with.
So, from her beloved Maison pigs to the increased foot traffic of her store, even Market Wagon, Laura admits she is still somewhat shell-shocked by the incredible growth she's seen in just a short period of time. Which begs the question, what does the future have in store for Laura?
So I am going to step back a little bit from the live pig so that I can support other breeders through my store. I think it's probably more important on a national level to make sure that the Maison has a pathway to get to the public. So you will see the change in the live pig side, but will I slow down? Absolutely not. I'm here. We're going as far as we can go, and we'll see what's next.
She is driven, that's for sure. Well, did you know Vidalia onions have been a part of Georgia agriculture since the Depression? And for this South Georgia farmer, they've been a part of his family life for over 30 years. That's next when the Farm Monitor continues.
We're just the best state in the whole entire country that loves all the other states, so we just keep growing onions for them. Our families have been growing onions for over 30 years. My wife and I, Megan, purchased what used to be, or what was, M&T Farms that my father-in-law and his partner had established back in the late 80s. And we began on our venture of A&M Farms in August of 2019, right before COVID hit. My favorite thing about farming is just being outside and just being able to get in my truck and go from one place to another and just seeing the difference a mile makes. In the future, my plan is hopefully to have my family more involved with me. Being able to, during the summers, they get off, if they're not playing ball or something, they come out here and maybe just ride with me and try to get them interested in some aspect of the farm. Any grower in a specialty crop is going to tell you the first and major challenge probably that we all face is the labor. Just having a steady labor force to make sure that we can get our crop out of the field. We face environmental challenges. Just with the climate and Mother Nature and what. One day it's wet, one day it's dry. We live in an area where we're 14 days away from a drought. We could get 20 inches of rain today, and 14 days from now, we'll be in a drought with the way the weather is. Economic impact of this Vidalia onion crop to the state of Georgia is around $150 million. We go after food safety like the medical field goes after cleanliness in a hospital. So we do daily check sheets, we do daily inspections, we daily sanitizing and cleaning in our facilities. I don't want to jeopardize anybody's health. You know, and it's important for me to make sure that things are done right. Once an onion leaves the field, we bring it to our processing facility. We'll take the onions and we'll enter them into our traceability procedure. Every bin is tagged and then stacked into a drying room. After that, usually it takes 3 to 4 days, depending on the dryness or how dry the onion is when it comes out of the field. We'll bring it into the packing line. As they come down the line, so every onion is weighed, it's calculated, and it's precisely designated to fall into a certain spot that we want it to fall in while we're packing them. And you know, the unique thing about this area and about what we do is, since Vidalia is a registered trademarked onion, part of the marketing order is that it has to be packed in Vidalia or in the growing area. It cannot be packed anywhere else. So 99% of the onions that leave Vidalia are going to go out in a package like this that's labeled Vidalia. I'm Ari Taygood of A&M Farms, and I am proud to be a Vidalia onion grower.
Well, finally this week, if there's one thing we all have in common, it's the simple fact that each of us are constantly adjusting to the ever-changing economic and public health environments.
That is true, but as you're about to see, the National Cotton Council staff and leadership are well positioned to meet these challenges and move the industry forward in 2022.
And we already have begun what I believe to be an equally, if not busier, year. The Council will be focused on a wide range of issues, many of which have direct bearing on our ability to continue competing in the global marketplace.
What our goal is, what our job is, it's very simple. It's one thing, and that's increasing demand for U.S. cotton, pure and simple. We believe in U.S. cotton. Cotton Council International, we will make it happen.
I'm really excited about U.S. Cotton Trust Protocol. I think we're building the Cadillac of sustainability programs and have full confidence that this is going to be the gold standard for sustainability.
Our ongoing challenge is to ensure that the National Cotton Council has the resources to be politically strong.
Thank you for the opportunity to serve what I think is the best industry organization in the world. And unity of our segments is what makes it best.
And just like that, another show is in the books.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on the Farm Monitor. Stay safe.